Within the hush of the forest, death arrives without warning. A jaguar strikes, swift and final, ending the life of a young anaconda before the moment can be understood. In the Amazon, existence balances on a fragile edge, where each breath may be the last. Do these battles ever truly conclude, or does the forest remain locked in its ancient ritual of blood and endurance? This is the Amazon where war has no ending. As dawn lifts its veil, the heavy clouds retreat, unveiling an infinite ocean of green that rolls toward the horizon. Seen from the sky, the rainforest is no single entity, but a living tapestry, layers upon layers of interwoven leaves sealing the earth below in perpetual shadow. Rivers cut through this mass like pulsing arteries, endlessly flowing, sustaining countless forms of life bound to their current. A faint wind moves through the canopy, carrying echoes of wings, whispers of insects, and the soft rhythm of falling droplets. The jungle awakens quietly, without ceremony, yet within this calm lie the fiercest survival stories on Earth. Beneath the towering crowns of trees exists a hidden realm, one rarely touched by sunlight, where time feels suspended. The air hangs thick and damp, heavy with the scent of decay, soil breaking down, fungi spreading, life returning to Earth hour by hour. Silence rules here, letting the most perfectly adapted endure. Each step across decomposing leaves risks exposure. Sound may summon death. Caution is not a choice, it is law. In this dim, saturated world, a faint glimmer appears between twisted roots and low branches, motionless, watching the margay waits. Smaller than its powerful kin, its body is built for fluid movement, light and flexible like flowing water. Barely 3 kilograms in weight, every fiber of its form is designed to slip through vines, trunks, and tangled undergrowth unseen. Its claws granted a rare mastery, ascending trees with ease, then descending headfirst, body inverted, defying gravity itself. Now this is more than skill. It is ancient memory carved into muscle. Nearby, beneath brittle leaves, a subtle rustle betrays a mouse searching for seeds. The margay lowers itself, breath erased, ears flattened. Time holds still, one precise leap, one flawless bite. The forest closes again, as if nothing had happened. Yet speed is not its greatest weapon. Intelligence is. When hunting above ground, this feline reveals something extraordinary. It can imitate the cries of infant primates, especially tamarins, sending fragile echoes through the canopy. Curiosity answers. The trap is complete. This is not impulse, but calculation and uncommon mastery among wildcats. Agility fused with deception makes the margay one of the rainforest's most formidable hunters. Sunlight finally breaks through, spilling in fractured gold across the forest floor. In the stillness of midday, a presence forms silent, unmistakable. The jaguar has arrived, where the margay moves like shadow. The jaguar embodies raw dominion, ancient, unyielding, with a body that may exceed 100 kilograms. Stands as the greatest feline of the Americas, a symbol of absolute authority. From the depths of shade, it advances like a living omen, its golden coat marked with black rosettes. Mirrors shattered sunlight, radiant and lethal, woven into the very soul of the forest. Every movement is measured, nearly weightless, as though the forest itself recognizes that cadence. By the river's edge, a capybara, the world's largest rodent, lowers, its massive head toward the water. It drinks calmly, unaware that the boundary between life and death is only a few steps away, hidden within the stillness. The jaguar freezes. Its frame compresses inward, muscle folded upon muscle, storing violence in silence, then release. No cry, no pursuit. A single eruption of motion, one flawless leap, and the jaws close, with lethal precision at the skull. This is a method mastered by few, a bite powerful enough to breach bone, to extinguish life instantly. There is no struggle, no display. Predators like this survive by certainty, not excess. Blood stains the ground. The forest answers with quiet, the scene shifts, the land rises. The soil dries. The ground is dotted with towering mounds of red earth, ant fortresses hardened by time. The air is thick with the scent of damp soil, decomposing moss, and the unseen labor of countless insects constructing their living citadels. From the forest's edge, a colossal form emerges. Its body stretches long and heavy, cloaked in dark gray fur, A massive tail drags behind like a weighty curtain. The snout is narrow, elongated, nearly blind, tracing the ground in slow deliberation. The giant anteater moves without urgency, without fear. In this domain of ants and termites, it has no rivals. Its nose meets a mound as tall as a knee. One powerful strike from its forelimbs shatters the hardened walls. Panic erupts. Soldier ants scatter before defense can form. A tongue thin, flexible, impossibly long slides deep into the broken nest. With each swift motion, dozens vanish. The tongue withdraws. Breathing remains steady. No blood is spilled. No sound is made. Yet devastation is complete. Hunger advances quietly through the forest. The creature moves on to the next mound with the same calm resolve. No strategy changes. None are needed. With senses capable of detecting ants from afar and a tongue that lashes more than 100 times per minute, time itself bends in its favor. The forest exists to feed it. Every strike dismantles, every flick erases. Slowly, amid shattered earth and hollowed mounds, the giant retreats, leaving behind a battlefield defined not by chaos, but by patience. In a realm where speed and brute force often decide fate, there are those who conquer through stillness, methodical, relentless, exact. A deeper sound begins to rise. Water brushes against the shore. Reeds whisper as they sway. The forest parts, opening onto a wide tributary where light scatters across the canopy like fragments of silver. The river's surface is dark, stained the color of brewed tea, heavy with sediment and the remnants of ages long past. Along the banks, trees lean inward, their exposed roots gripping the soil like ancient hands resisting the pull of the current. And they're at the fragile border where land yields to water. Another presence announces itself. A new sound is born. It begins as a soft whine. Then it sharpens into sound. Suddenly, it fractures into piercing, calls-layered, rapid, almost conversational. The river answers. Its surface shatters as a long copper-brown form slices through the water like a released spear. Then another and another. Not one presence, but many moving in sequence, linked like cars of a living chain. These are giants. Each stretches beyond 1.5 meters, surpassing every other otter on Earth. They do not merely swim, they surge. With webbed feet, streamlined bodies, and fur sealed against water, their motion reflects generations shaped by speed and precision beneath the surface. Yet their true strength lies elsewhere, not in muscle, but in unity. A shrill signal cuts through the air. Instantly, the formation bends. Direction changes as one. They do not pursue blindly. Instead, they close ranks, circle, compress space, and drive their quarry toward shallower ground. At the center, a caiman thrashes in confusion. Foam erupts. Water boils. Then stillness returns. When clarity settles, the pack is leaving only widening rings and sunlight trembling across the river. In a forest where power often walks alone, these otters stand as living proof that survival can be shared. They do not endure in isolation. They prevail through coordination, speed, and unwavering loyalty. The river smooths itself once more. Ripples dissolve into amber depths. Silence reclaims the surface. Light filters through the canopy, scattering gold across the water like fragments of memory. The river becomes a mirror, reflecting the ancient forest above. Yet below that reflection lies another realm darker, heavier, and far more enigmatic. The depths of the Amazon are never truly quiet. Something moves slowly along the muddy floor, drifting like smoke suspended underwater. A shape emerges, no dorsal fin, no glittering scales. Its body is smooth, supple, flowing as if formed from the river itself. This is the pink river dolphin, the living legend of the Amazon. Reaching lengths of up to 2.5 meters, its pale rose hue mirrors the glow of sunset upon water. Under strong sunlight, its skin deepens to red, luminous, like wandering spirits beneath the surface. They do not gather in dense schools. Instead, they travel in pairs or small clusters, explorers tracing the river's endless paths. Above the water, branches weave into a tangled maze. Darkness does not merely settle below, it hangs, suspended between trunks and leaves. Life here moves fast, except for one. In this restless world, there exists a creature, seemingly untouched by time. the three-toed sloth. High above the ground, clinging to a branch, a bundle of fur the color of moss rests against the trunk, indistinguishable from the tree itself. Its pace is so deliberate that algae and moss grow within its coat, turning flesh into foliage. Each motion unfolds like a pilgrimage. A limb lifts, fingers curl. The grip tightens. There is no urgency, only the calm of a being that survives not by fleeing, but by becoming part of the world around it. The sloth does not hunt, it does not compete. Feeding on leaves low in energy, it must guard every heartbeat. Because it moves so little, it is rarely seen. One cannot seize what does not announce itself. Wind passes. Rain from the night before drips gently from its fur, each drop falling with the slow tilt of its head. A butterfly settles on its back, mistaking it for bark from the forest floor. Nothing appears, only moss resting among branches. In the Amazon, where survival is often won through force, this creature endures through stillness. For millions of years, slowness has been its shield. Yet even this quiet existence is not unseen. Far above, where the sky breaks through the canopy, a shadow circles. Massive wings, silver gray cut, wide arcs through open air, silent, patient, watching, the harpy eagle. With a wingspan nearing 2 meters, it moves between treetops with controlled power. Each beat sends a brief surge of wind through the leaves. Its hooked beak and talons larger than a human hand mark it as the forest's supreme aerial predator. It does not fly to search, it flies to confirm. From 15 meters above, its gaze locks onto the sloth, motionless against the trunk. Still exposed, perfect. The wings fold, the dive begins. Air splits, branches tremble, the forest inhales. At the instant its talons are about to close, the sloth reacts. Its arms swing outward, curved claws slashing through the air, striking the eagle's body and throwing the attack off course. The harpy snaps its wings wide, fights gravity, regains balance, and pulls itself back into the sky. As the predator retreats, another voice rises beneath the canopy. Deep, prolonged. A rolling call like a drum echoing through the forest's chest. High above, howler monkeys answer. One after another, the troop lifts its heads and releases a thunderous chorus-on announcement of presence. A declaration of territory that carries 4 kilometers. Powerful arms lock onto branches, tails coil tight, anchoring their bodies in the trees. Farther along the canopy, another group appears. Spider monkeys arrive without sound, without warning, moving only through motion. Their long limbs swing effortlessly. Tails guide each leap. They pass from tree to tree like flowing breath, weightless, unbound. For them, stillness does not exist. Life is movement. Below the path they leave behind, the vegetation shifts almost imperceptibly. No splash, no noise, just the slow passage of immense mass. Gray-brown scales slide beneath dark water and along tangled grass. The anaconda waits. It does not rush.
Speed is unnecessary.
Hidden beneath murky pools or pressed against the riverbank, its massive body, nearly 8 meters long, can remain coiled for hours. All that is required is one mistake. A young capybara approaches the water's edge, cautious, unaware. The river erupts. Water explodes upward as living muscle surges forward. The coils wrap instantly, crushing, binding, sealing fate. There is no struggle long enough to matter. In the Amazon, death does not always descend from the sky. Sometimes it rises from below, from darkness, from silence, from places the eye never suspects. As daylight fades, its final glow spreads across the water. Light slips between leaves, glances off wet fur as a family of otters returns quietly to its den. High above, the harpy eagle continues its wide, silent circles against the sky. Here, every creature hunter, or hunted, shadow or reflection holds its place. None are excess, none are spared. They struggle, flee, confront, and endure not for dominance, but for the same ancient command, to live, and to keep life moving forward in the oldest forest on earth. Then night arrives. The Amazon sinks into darkness, yet within it, countless stories continue, seen brutal and breathtaking as they have for millions of years, without pause, without rest. Far away, under a different sky, Beneath relentless heat and open land, the struggle resumes. In the scorched plains of Tanzania, every being is a fighter seeking food, defending breath, avoiding becoming the next offering. Here, conflict never sleeps. Survival is constant. Africa, the cradle of life, still carries the earliest echoes of the planet's memory. From desert sands to endless rivers, from dense jungles to towering mountains and vast wetlands, this continent holds one of Earth's richest tapestries of life. At its heart, Tanzania stands as a living convergence. Endless savannas, ancient craters, rising highlands, shimmering lakes tinted pink by life itself. This land shelters hundreds of species, mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, thriving not quietly but fiercely. As dawn spills crimson across the grasslands, a roar breaks the silence. The lion emerges. Unique among great cats, it does not stand alone. Lions live as families, bound by structure and cooperation. A pride forms its own living system. Females, often sisters, moving together as hunters. While a small number of adult males stand guard, defending territory and lineage. Here, survival is shared. The ancient rhythm continues. Their bond is reinforced through touch and sound-shared grooming. Brief nose-to-nose contact, slow licks, and a range of vocal signals that together form a private language spoken only by apex predators. Within this society, the lionesses stand at the core. They are the heart of the pride and its most efficient hunters. Working as one, they separate roles with precision. Some move unseen along the flanks. Others apply quiet pressure, guiding the prey toward a carefully chosen trap. When the moment arrives, everything erupts at once. A sudden surge, claws cut through the air, confusion reigns. In mere seconds, fate is decided. The males, crowned with heavy manes and steady gazes, seldom take part in the hunt. Their duty lies elsewhere. They are guardians, defenders of land, lineage, and dominance. When rival males appear, violence becomes inevitable. These clashes, often brutal and blood-soaked, determine who may rule and who may pass on their blood. Beyond physical power, lions command the savanna through sound. A single roar can travel across vast distances, carrying warnings, calls, or declarations of control. It is this blend of strength, adaptability, and complex social order that has made the lion an enduring emblem of African wildlife. Morning breaks over the Serengeti beneath a thin veil of mist. Golden grasses lie muted under pale light as the sun slowly dissolves the fog clinging to the ground. In the distance, a small group of wildebeest advances cautiously, an attentive mother leading. 3 young calves trailing close behind, concealed behind low brush. A lioness watches. Her focus is deliberate. It's not the alert adult, but the smallest calf, slower, less coordinated, vulnerable. In the wild, weakness is an invitation. The wind shifts. The mother senses it. She halts abruptly and releases a sharp alarm call. Instantly, the calves scatter. The response is fast, but not fast enough. Moments later, the lioness stands over her catch, chest heaving as she begins to feed. The grass darkens beneath her, stained red, absorbing yet another act in nature's unbroken rhythm. As the sun climbs higher and the plains warm, dust rises in distant columns. Something massive approaches. African elephants enter the scene. Their movement is steady and soundless, like elders walking through remembered paths. Some weigh more than 60 tons, making them the largest land animals alive. Yet beneath their immense frames lies remarkable intelligence. Elephants recall distant water sources during droughts, recognize countless members of their extended families, and express emotion, grief, joy, even mourning. Their herds are guided by a matriarch, an older female who carries the memory of generations. She chooses when to move, where to rest, and when to intervene, holding the group together under the relentless sun. Nearby, another presence moves with caution. Black rhinoceroses advance slowly, each step heavy with potential force. Their sharp horns and thick bodies signal danger, yet their eyesight is poor, their nature wary. Solitary by choice, they rely on scent to define territory and use their hooked lips to strip leaves from shrubs. When threatened, they can charge with explosive, speeding, stoppable, unforgiving. Then the air fills with sound, cackles, whistles, high, unsettling laughter. Spotted hyenas arrive, often dismissed as scavengers. They are in truth calculated hunters with intricate social systems. Living in large clans, sometimes numbering dozens, they follow a strict hierarchy, one ruled by dominant females. These leaders decide when to hunt, where to strike, and how the group moves as a single force. On these plains, nothing exists alone. Every species is woven into a shared struggle, one shaped by memory, instinct, and survival. The day moves on. On the Tanzanian plains, few creatures rival the spotted hyena in strategy and relentless resolve. They are watchers by nature. While lions exhaust themselves in the hunt, hyenas linger at the edges, measuring time and weakness. When the moment tilts in their favor, they surge forward not to hunt, but to claim. With numbers and coordination, even a male lion can be forced away from a kill by 8 or 10 determined hyenas moving as one. Against leopards, their approach shifts. Silence replaces confrontation. They follow patiently, allowing the cat to seek refuge in the trees, then settle beneath the branches, unmoving, waiting for gravity or fatigue to finish the work. When the opportunity finally appears, the clan erupts in unison. What remains is bone and dust. Their power extends beyond muscle. Hyenas speak through sound. Their infamous laughter is not madness, but information signaling rank, emotion, distance, and intent to others in the clan. In a land where strength alone is often insufficient, hyenas survive through calculation, endurance, and unwavering instinct. That is why they persist. That is why they flourish where others fail. As daylight spreads across the savannah, towering figures emerge from the haze. Maasai giraffes, quiet giants, stand outlined against the rising sun, some reaching heights of more than 5 meters. They are the tallest animals on Earth, and an inseparable part of Tanzania's wild identity. Their coats, patterned with irregular dark patches, resemble living artwork no two alike. They move with unhurried grace, each step measured, each motion fluid. Long necks grant access to the highest acacia leaves, avoiding competition below. Their dark, elongated tongues, nearly half a meter long, slide effortlessly between sharp thorns, a perfect tool shaped by survival. Calm does not mean defenseless. When threatened, a giraffe's hind leg kick carries lethal force, capable of breaking a lion's skull. Adult males test one another in ritualized combat, swinging heavy necks in contests for dominance and mating rights. Unlike the rigid societies of elephants or hyenas, giraffes drift through loose social groups, forming and dissolving connections as the land demands. Flexibility is their strength. As the sun climbs, the giraffes advance toward the horizon, moving like living pillars holding up the sky, ancient, elegant, unbroken. Then the earth begins to stir. A vast cloud of dust rises in the distance, rolling across the plains like a gray tide. It marks the beginning of the greatest migration on Earth. At its front move the wildebeest and gainly, relentless, driven by a will stronger than fear. Year after year, they travel thousands of kilometers through Tanzania and Kenya, chasing rain, grass, and survival. They do not move alone. Zebras guide the path. Gazelles scan for danger. Birds circle overhead. Each species plays its role. Together they form a living force, numbers becoming armor against predators waiting in the tall grass. The journey's greatest trial lies ahead, the Mara River. The current is swift. Rocks cut deep. Beneath the opaque surface, Nile crocodiles wait, ancient and patient. When the herd enters the water, order collapses. Screams pierce the air. Bodies collide. Some are dragged under. Others vanish downstream. And still, the survivors continue. Migration is not choice. Is not choice, it is command. Written into blood and bone. Brutal. Beautiful. Eternal. Near the shores of Lake Eyasi, south of the Great Rift Valley, another form of endurance persists.
Ice.
The Hadza people live much as they have for thousands of years. No farms.
Oh.
No livestock. No borders. No written history. One of the last true hunter-gatherer societies on Earth. The men hunt with simple bows and arrows tipped with natural resin, targeting small antelope and birds. They move lightly across the land. reading tracks, listening to silence, feeling the wind. The women gather fruit, roots, and honey, sharing everything. Nothing is owned. Nothing is stored. They sleep beneath trees or in rock shelters, leaving almost no trace. Their click-based language is among the oldest still spoken. In a world rushing forward, the Hadza remain aligned with nature's rhythm, taking only what is needed, never more. As wildlife faces extinction, they stand as living proof that humans can exist, not above nature, but within it. Across the grasslands, a new presence materializes. The leopard appears silent, golden, ghost-like. Its coat, marked with dark rosettes, dissolves into light and shadow. No two patterns are the same, each one an identity written in fur. Built for solitude, the leopard hunts alone. Speed, stealth, and precision define it. Keen hearing, sharp night vision, and soundless steps merge into a flawless predator. At dawn or dusk, when light fades and grass conceals movement, it strikes. A young gazelle drifts too far from its mother. The leopard lowers itself. Muscles tighten. The leap is instant. Instead of feeding on the ground, it drags its prize upward, hauling the carcass into the branches, away from lions and hyenas. Height becomes safety. If the leopard embodies silence, the cheetah represents pure velocity. Slim, long-legged, built like an arrow, it accelerates beyond 100 kilometers per hour in seconds. Open plains are its domain. Its hunts are brief, explosive pursuits, ending with a precise grip to the throat. But speed has limits. If the chase lasts too long, heat overwhelms the body, forcing retreat. And unlike leopards, cheetahs cannot defend their kills. Lions and hyenas steal freely, yet speed remains their legacy, a reminder that perfection in nature is fragile. At alkaline lakes like Natron and Manura, the landscape softens. Tens of thousands of flamingos gather, transforming the water into a sea of pink. Long legs, curved beaks, and synchronized stillness create one of Tanzania's most surreal visions. Their color comes from what they consume, algae rich in pigments filtered through specialized beaks. Living in vast flocks offers protection. When danger appears, they rise together, becoming a single living cloud, staining the sky with color. As evening descends and baobab silhouettes stretch across the horizon, life in Tanzania does not slow, continues unceasing, interwoven. Every species, from predator to prey, from bird to human, holds its place. This land is not merely where animals survive. It is where nature and culture flow together unbroken. A reminder that the world does not depend on us, but we depend entirely on it.